I want to talk about sleep, because sleep is something that obviously gets disrupted by the EMFs. But I say it doesn't matter what you're eating, what exercise you're doing, what supplements you're taking. If you're not sleeping, everything else is thrown out the window, because that's your body's way of recovery. So let's talk about the damage, or how EMFs are disrupting sleep.
Well, when we're sleeping, our brainwave states are 1 or below 1 to 8 hertz or waves per second. The Schumann resonance of the Earth is 7.83 hertz or waves per second. So we optimize really low and slow, really one with the Earth. And for our athletes, when they're in performance realm, when they're in the flow, in the zone, they call it 8 to 12 hertz or brainwave states at, or 8 to 12 waves per second. So if you're sleeping with your bed against the wall, the outlets right there are at 60 hertz. So 50 to 60 waves per second. So that's 6 times, over 6 times what we're at, right? So you're looking at something that's just a huge stressor on the body, just with electricity on the room, even that low level. And then you have dirty electricity, which is 4,000 to 100,000 waves per second. And then you go into the wireless stuff. These are 2.45 gigahertz. 5G is 60 to 90 gigahertz, which is waves per second. 60 to 90, billion waves per second. So we're at 1 to 8 when we're sleeping. They're at 60 to 90 billion waves per second. It's a big difference. So what happens is, if there's a wireless signal or just even low level, your brain tries to figure out what's pinging it. What is that bandwidth that's coming into it? So you go into what we call a twilight sleep. You don't get into that deep restorative sleep until you shut your power off, turn your Wi-Fi routers off, convert your smart meter to analog, put all your wireless devices on airplane mode, load up your home, and have one of these grounding bags on your bed. I mean, that's when you start to get into those deeper sleeps, because what Mother Nature has done for us is she's provided that resonance of a healing frequency, because everything has a frequency and a resonance, and hers is the medicinal one that can convert those one-directional waveforms so we can coexist with this stuff. And when we have more of the mass of the mind of Mother Nature, in our bedroom, we essentially convert those one-directional waveforms so they're not affecting us. So it's not something that our brain tries to figure out, and we go into a deeper sleep. And Dr. Rodney White just did a testimonial, and he's super EMF sensitive. And he had me on his podcast. I want to introduce you guys. You guys would be great talking together. But he said, Justin, he goes, my deep sleep tracked at 45 minutes consistently. Maybe I'd have like 60 minutes at one point, but 45 was like my deep sleep. That was the amount of time. The second he put the grounding bag in, it went up to the high point of 100 minutes of deep sleep. That's over 50% improvement with the grounding bags. So the sleep is so huge. And when you can get that improvement, even 3% substantial, but over 50 is insane. And then when you accumulate that over weeks and months and years, your body will then be able to reverse the aging that you're talking about, Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just give you a little insight to what I've been experiencing over the last 4 months. Wasn't anything related to EMFs, but my sleep was disrupted. My heart rate variability was suffering, and I just was waking up with blurred vision, brain fog, just couldn't get it. Couldn't get going. I mean, I eventually got going with my supplements and with everything else, but that natural of feeling just rested and restored was gone. I changed a few things, and in the last week, I finally started getting back to what I'm used to. And I wear my Aura ring, so it tells me exactly where I am with my readiness and my REM sleep, my deep sleep, my light sleep. The difference in what I feel in the morning is night and day. And it's nothing different. I haven't changed my food, I haven't changed my supplements, but it was just that sleep. So when you are talking about sleep issues, and I would say over 50% of people talk about having poor sleep and need sleep remedies. This is one thing I've got one by my computer every day that I'm working, and I've got one in my bed, right by my head. But can you tell us why this little bag is able to ground us? It's a hard concept for a lot of people to understand.
So when you go outside and go barefoot and get grounded, they call it earthing or grounding. What's happening scientifically is that you're actually pulling in the electrons from the negative ionic charge of the earth, and we get the positive charge from the unpolarized light of the sun, and we breathe in minerals from different climates and microbiomes. So because everything travels in waves and particles, so we get those minerals in through that, and then hopefully we get them through food and supplementation as well. But at the net of it, when you're outside on the earth, you're getting the negative ionic charge, and we're pulling electrons from it. It's a grounding effect. That's the healing capacity of Mother Nature, is to allow you to get grounded by nature. We're literally getting rid of that voltage that we're taking on and being inundated with. We should have no voltage in our body, and when you're grounded, you don't. But each year and year, we go from 3% voltage in our body to 7% with all the stuff that we're wearing, from smartwatches to wireless earbuds, even these tracking rings and all the wearable technologies. The amount of voltage in your body just gets increased. That's different waveform than we're used to. So we have to go get grounded. And when you're sleeping, most people don't sleep outside on the ground. You're in a house with electricity wired everywhere. In 1889, all the homes started getting wired with electricity. Some are healthier wired, some aren't so healthy. Then the not so healthy ones might have dirty electricity. They might have sparking and static in the lines. And then they might have wireless signals all throughout the house. And now most of them do, because of the smart meters on the home, the automated gas and electric meters. Even if your home is hardwired for your router and you turn all your electricity devices off. So we're being inundated at home from electricity. It's a different speed of a waveform. It's a one-directional waveform. That's the polar opposite of how we're designed. And it chips away at our life force, and our brain and body try to figure out what's pinging it. And so we don't get in that deep sleep. But when you introduce a grounding bag to your bed, or 5 to your home as well, you're going to start to convert those waveforms to be able to coexist with this stuff.